Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Gothic II, Night of the Raven. Now, I'm going to go and attack the Swamp Dragon with the help of those two Dragon Hunters, because you don't really lose anything by making them help you. They share all of the experience, and it's actually a whole lot easier with them. And if any of them die, then you know that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make, and you can loot their bodies, so no harm done. Although, come to think of it, I was always kind of weirded out by the sort of elemental portfolio of the dragons in Gothic II, because you'd think they would follow the classical elements, you know. There is a fire dragon, for example, but so you'd think, logically, at first glance, that there would be an earth dragon, an air dragon, and a water dragon, but instead you have a swamp dragon, you have a stone dragon, you have an ice dragon, and you have a fire dragon that I mentioned. So it's kind of weird to me, although I guess with some, like, if you wiggled it around a bit, I guess you could assign the classical elements to them anyway, because obviously the fire dragon that lives in a literal volcano is obviously linked to fire. The stone dragon that lives in the mountains is obviously linked to earth. So then you have the ice dragon, which... and so this is where it gets kind of murky to me, because you have the ice dragon and the swamp dragon. And at first glance, I would say both of them kind of are linked to water. But if I had to differentiate it, I would say, like what's the cause of marshlands? What causes swamps to appear? I would say it's humidity. Like it's a mix between earth and water. So I would say it would be water for the swamp dragon, and ironically enough, air for the ice dragon, which I guess could be explained away with you saying that if the winds are cold enough, then you know you might get ice, you might get snow. But that's just a little bit of a, I don't know, weird conundrum. So let's talk with the dragon hunters here. First, I can steal from them, which is kind of worth it for the experience alone.
Wszystko w porządku?
Te buty mnie wykończą. Cała zbroja jest naprawdę w porządku, ale czy te wiązania muszą być tak cholernie ciasne? Jeśli je trochę poluzuję, buty pospadają mi z nóg.
Skąd masz te buty?
Stary Wiarus Bennett zrobił je dla nas, łowców smoków, a my słono za ten szmelc zapłaciliśmy. Jeśli kiedyś dorwę tego drania, to każę mu zeżreć te buty wraz z podeszwami, a do tego oddać pieniądze.
Na kogo czekasz?
Czekam, aż Cifer przywlecze tutaj swój szanowny tyłek. Musimy wyruszać.
He's right next to him, so he's literally waiting for this guy who's already here. I can also steal from him.
Ładne obozowisko.
Święte słowa! Cuchnie tu jak w rzeźni. Wszędzie martwe zwierzęta i przegniłe drzewa.
Co tutaj robisz?
Siedzę tu już od pewnego czasu w oczekiwaniu na odpowiedni moment.
Odpowiedni moment? Na co?
Gdzieś tu powinien być smok. Od czasu jak się pojawił, zrobiło się tu wstrętne bagno. Dobrze pamiętam czasy, kiedy nie trzeba było tutaj brodzić. Teraz jednak nie odważyłbym się przyjść tutaj sam. Cóż, Rod wciąż tu jest, a on by zwiał, gdyby zobaczył nawet jednego chrząszcza. A co z tobą? Nie przyszedłeś tutaj na spacer, prawda? Wejdźmy tam razem.
Czemu nie? Przyda mi się pomoc.
To dobrze. Czyli w końcu się stąd wydostanę. Ten smród jest nie do zniesienia. Daj mi tylko znać, kiedy.
Teraz jest dobry moment, żeby ruszyć.
Chodźmy więc.
Okej. Incidentally, they are also helpful because fighting the dragons in melee is a bit of a hassle, really. It's possible to do it flawlessly if you're...
Bagno zaczyna się za następnym zakrętem. Powinniśmy pójść prosto. Albo możesz wypróbować tamten korytarz, tak żeby żadna z bestii nie zaatakowała nas z tyłu. No, co wolisz?
Nie marnujmy czasu.
If you're proficient enough with dodging, but I unfortunately am not,
Tyle na ten temat.
which makes it kind of difficult for
Znowu
me
jedno z tych przeklętych stworzeń.
to effectively fight the dragons in melee. But hopefully they will help. And as I said, if any of them die during that, then, you know, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make, as it were. Because I don't think they are used for anything else later on. And you can...
Tyle na ten temat.
And if they die, you can always loot their corpses for some of their equipment and gold.
Tyle na ten temat.
I will go back the other way once I defeat the dragon to get to kill all of the creatures there.
Ciągle to potrafię.
But for now, let's just go towards the dragon.
Ciągle to potrafię.
Okay, that was close for him.
Już słyszę stwora. Musimy uważać. No dalej. Zobaczmy, czy możemy zaatakować.
Ciągle to potrafię.
Now, they hang out in the distance because they wait for you to talk with the dragon. To talk with the dragon first, because you can use the power of the Eye of Innos to compel it to talk to you. But after I attack, they will come forward and help me. When I will probably just retreat and watch them duke it out, because as I said, if any of them dies, it's further profit for me. And actually, at this point, I will need the gold, because as I said a couple of times, the path of the dragon hunter is the most financially demanding, because you have to actually pay for your armor, and those are quite hefty sums.
Biada ci, jeśli zbliżysz się jeszcze o krok.
Haha, oko Innosa najwyraźniej działa.
Było tu przed tobą wielu takich jak ty. Żaden się nie ostał.
Oszczędzaj oddech. Twoje słowa mnie nie przestraszą, piekielny gadzie. Odpowiesz na moje pytania, albo utopię cię w twojej własnej krwi.
Ha, ha, ha. Śmiesz mi grozić, robaczku? Podaj choć jeden powód, dla którego nie miałbym cię od razu rozerwać na 1000 strzępów.
Jestem wysłannikiem Innosa. Mam przy sobie święte oko. Nie masz wyboru. Rób co ci każe, albo spotka cię zasłużona kara.
Mów, czego ode mnie chcesz?
Kim jesteś?
Nazywam się Pandrodor. Dobrze ci radzę. Uciekaj stąd, póki jeszcze możesz.
Gdzie znajdę resztę twoich ohydnych pobratymców?
Żywioły, od których wszystko pochodzi, utrzymują ten świat w harmonii. Każdy z nich sprawuje władzę nad jedną częścią świata. Szukaj żywiołów, a znajdziesz moich braci.
Sługo ciemności. Co cię sprowadza do tego miejsca? Czy twoim jedynym celem jest sianie strachu i zniszczenia?
Prawdziwy cel naszego przybycia do tego świata nigdy nie zostanie ci wyjawiony, człowiecze.
Jak mam zmusić do mówienia pozostałe smoki?
Tylko moje serce pozwoli ci odnowić moc oka, ale nigdy nie zdołasz wyrwać go z mojej piersi.
Na Innosa, co mam uczynić, by przegnać was precz z królestwa ludzi?
By tego dokonać, musiałbyś najpierw zrozumieć znaczenie naszego spotkania, ale żaden z nas nie wyjawi ci go z własnej woli. Tylko oko mogłoby rozwiązać nasze języki i wyjawić ci nasz prawdziwy cel. W każdym razie po swojej śmierci niewiele będziesz miał z tej wiedzy pożytku. Doniesiono nam, że obrałeś drogę łowcy smoków. Dlatego wysłaliśmy do twojego świata nasz pomiot, by zapewnić przetrwanie naszej starożytnej dynastii. Przegrałeś tę wojnę, mały człowieczku.
Now it's interesting that the dragon said that the Eye of Innos could compel him to tell me what their plan is, but there is no option to do that because new information is revealed to you by each dragon sort of consecutively. So you have to talk with them all to learn that. But I think it kind of doesn't make sense. Like at the very least, there should be an option to ask the question, and it could be programmed in such a way that the lesser dragons, the weaker dragons, don't know the answer. So you would ask it, and then they would be compelled to tell you that they don't know, and they would say, you have to ask my brethren, for the answer because I don't know it. But it's kind of stupid that you don't even ask at all.
Wyczerpała się moc oka. Nadszedł twój kres, człowieku.
Okay, so I will retreat, and as I said, I will let them fight, because first of all, it's going to actually help me quite a bit, although perhaps I should also engage, because the dragons have ridiculous regeneration. So if if they somehow failed in killing it and died themselves, then I would actually have a... You can see how quickly the health regenerates. I would actually have a problem. Yeah, that's the problem. I am not skilled enough to effectively dodge those fire attacks, and they push you back. So it's quite... damn it. Unfortunately for me, he survived, so no looting their corpses. Oh,
Nic tu nie ma.
And I guess that answers one of my other questions. And the question was, do I need a specific skill to take scales out of a dragon's body? And I guess the answer is yes. So that's kind of a bummer, because I've already wasted 10 of them. You can loot 10 scales out of a single dragon, and I haven't yet learned the skill that helps me do that. So that's, as I said, a bit of a bummer, although it might
Nie ma
be
czego plądrować.
that the corpse of the dragon remains. I will go back once I learn the skill and check if the scales are still lootable.
Co się z tobą dzieje?
Te buty, te zafajdane buty.
I co teraz poczniesz?
Też pytania zadajesz. Zacznę od tego, że kupię sobie nowe buty.
Cholera, nie żyje?
Uspokój się. To już koniec.
O rany, ale wdechy koleś.
Chwila. Bagienny smok nie żyje. Co teraz zrobisz?
Nie mam pojęcia. Nie zastanawiałem się nad tym, naprawdę. W każdym razie możesz wrócić do Korinis jako bohater. Założę się, że można na tym zarobić. Zastanów się.
Yeah, so even the nameless hero himself referred to the dragon as a swamp dragon. So as I said, that's kind of interesting to me. I've never quite understood the division of the elements in Gothic 2 between the dragons. I guess I might check how am I doing with a bow at this point. I did pack a bunch of points into. Hey, that's actually kind of decent. Like I would have similar amounts of success with my sword, or perhaps it would be even easier. But I guess at the very least, you know, it kind of justifies the points I've put into the bow skill, which is still kind of low. Like it's not strong enough to effectively kill a dragon, for example, which, as I said, is a bit of a problem because. From now on, I will be on my own, basically, fighting the dragons, and it's going to be a little bit difficult, really. I'm not skilled enough at this game to effectively fight them on my own. Okay, that's also going to be potentially a problem. Lizardmen are... I think lizardmen are analogous to orcs in terms of power, so a couple of them at once can be a problem. I should have a couple of scrolls of healing though, and it would be wise to use them because it's much quicker compared to using the potions at this point. I will also drink another potion of speed. I have a bunch of those, and I should be using them. They're a great commodity to have. So I need to return to the castle to recharge the Eye of Innos, because, as the dragon said, it lost its power upon me finishing the talk, and I need to re-enable it using the power of the dragon's heart. There's a chest here, nothing particularly interesting, but I'm going to loot it anyway. And also, if I talk with the paladin in the castle about the fact that I've killed one of the dragons, he's going to tell me a bit of information about where to find the next one, because that's how it works. Obviously, I, as a player, know where to find the next dragon because I've played this game a bunch of times, but it's still thematically appropriate to ask that. And I will get a bit of experience, I think, when I tell Garond that I've dealt with one of the dragons. I will go around because I think there's a couple of orcs left. There's an orc elite out there, and a warg. I guess that must have been one of those that were weakened by the rain of fire before. But I guess that more or less concludes the orcs around the castle. Although more will appear later on, once I commit the aforementioned war crimes that I mentioned a couple of times. Those of you who know this game probably know what I'm referring to. But for now, that's pretty much it, I guess. Which is kind of cool, actually, to have cleared all that out. I'm rather happy with that. Okay. Oh, actually, I guess I can also get Feros' sword. It's on a hill up there, near where Hoshback used to be in the past. But I've already killed Hoshback, so there is that. But if I get the sword, obviously I can get it back to him now. I won't have to backtrack later. I'm still pretty close to the battering ram. It's somewhere around here.
Niczego tu nie znajdę.
Okay, let's heal again. Yet another orc, but no shaman. Oh, frick.
Niczego tu nie znajdę.
For a second there, I feared
tu nie znajdę.
I might have bitten off more than I can chew, but luckily, at this point in time, I'm strong enough to... Yeah, so there is Feros' sword. I'm strong enough to actually deal with them. Okay, so I will go back to the castle, recharge the eye, and then go on to the go on to hunt the next dragon, which is actually this way. Because as I said, if you follow, you can actually do it in any order you want, but if you follow the advice of the paladins, you're going from the weakest dragon to the strongest. So it's both kind of thematically advisable, as well as it's simply the easiest way to do it, because as the dragons become stronger, so do you, basically.
To było oczywiste od dawna. Nie wiem, czy można być tego pewnym. Całkowicie.
Znalazłem twój miecz.
Dzięki. Jestem twoim dłużnikiem. W zamian pokażę ci kilka sztuczek, dzięki którym będziesz mógł lepiej wykorzystać swą siłę i zręczność podczas pojedynków.
Pokaż mi, jak mogę udoskonalić swoje umiejętności.
Dobry wojownik musi umieć przekazać broni część swojej energii.
I wonder if he can actually teach me more dexterity at this point. Like, I have quite a lot of it.
Nie mogę cię już niczego nauczyć. Jesteś za dobry.
Yeah, I kind of screwed my character development, really, because even though like my dexterity is still not that high, not high enough to use the best bows in the game, but it's high enough for it to become unprofitable to actually learn from teachers. So it's kind of an annoying middle point.
Mam wiadomości dotyczące smoków.
Mów,
Zabiłem smoka z bagien na wschód stąd.
to dobra wiadomość. Masz tu trochę pieniędzy na lepszy ekwipunek.
Czy w międzyczasie zaatakowały was smoki?
Na szczęście nie. Na razie mamy spokój.
Potrzebuję więcej informacji o smokach. Jednego udało mi się zgładzić. Czy możesz mi powiedzieć, gdzie szukać następnych?
Na południe stąd, daleko za wulkanem, wznosi się kamienna forteca. Nasi szpiedzy donieśli, że jest silnie strzeżona. Być może tam ukrywa się jeden ze smoków.
Yeah, so basically I will follow the advice of the paladins, especially because near the old fortress that he just mentioned is a hunter that can teach me how to get dragon scales off of dragons' corpses, and I will need that skill if I want to get better armor. Not to mention, I think you can actually sell them to Bennett, the scales I mean, and they fetch not a bad price, so it's definitely kind of useful on its own in that regard. Okay, there's an orc elite. I will stroll along the palisade and fight the orcs there, for experience mostly. I should be strong enough to do that. He says, as he almost gets killed. But that's almost like tradition at this point. I'm pretty bad at this game. Oh, that is Sengrath. He ran away, and as I said in one of the previous chapters, if you find his body, you get everything you sold to him, which you can actually exploit quite a lot more than I did, because I didn't sell that much things to him. I mean, that many things. But it's still, you know, a nice chunk of gold that you can sell back to one of his other buddies back at the castle, which is kind of hilarious, really, when you think about it. You know, because he already paid me for this stuff, and then he died, and I'm looting his corpse, and then I will sell all of the things I took from him to one of his friends. But that is exactly what a psycho, such as this dragon hunter, a nameless one, would have done. So yeah, and I will need the gold. So it's not like I'm doing it for a practical purpose because I need to. Okay, there are 3 orcs there, at least 3. So that's kind of problematic, really. I'm not sure if I can take them all, but I guess I did take down 3 orcs before. But one of them is an orc elite. Okay, this looks bad because it's actually 4 orcs. One of them is a shaman and one of them is an orc elite, so that isn't looking great for me at all. I might be kind of screwed. Oh freak, I'm dead. Okay, it's interesting that they gave up. I guess maybe I can...
Nie ma czego plądrować.
I guess one of the hunters in the beginning of the game mentioned that orcs are kind of afraid, or at least they don't like water, which I guess was mainly meant to explain this very limitation of the game. But what I meant to say is that it is kind of mentioned in the lore as well. And obviously my speed potion is wasted, as is tradition at this point. It's actually getting kind of ridiculous. Yeah, my bow might have been useful against a regular orc, but not against an orc elite. Still, I should be able to take them down. I just need to do it a little bit more. actually, that reminds me. It might be time for me to upgrade the Claw of Beliar again, because I've gained a couple of levels since I've last done that. So if I encounter any shrines of Beliar, I will do that. It's working remarkably well, but it can work even better because obviously my main source of damage are those lightning crits. And upgrading the claw actually upgrades the chance of scoring those crits by quite a lot. So it's obviously worth it. Damn it, now I'm having PTSD again about getting killed and the potion getting cancelled. I might have waited, should have waited until I killed the sword. Okay, at least it wasn't wasted this time. However, there is a large group of them near the cave where... Oh, okay, that's also a large group. Damn it, I might be kind of screwed. Oh yes, I am definitely screwed. To be honest, the extension to which me having consumed a potion of speed beforehand enhances the feeling of dread I feel before a fight is kind of ridiculous. Like, ordinarily I wouldn't really be bothered by dying that much, but if the effect gets cancelled, then I get really salty about that. So it makes me even more scared to die. Near the cave where the goblins, where the almanac was back in Gothic 1, there is a hefty group of orcs. And it's just around the corner. Over there. Yeah, I'm kind of... Okay, I can't do this. Unless I climb the tent and they leave me alone. Which... it might be a possibility, in which case I might finally be strong enough to do something with my bow. It isn't great, but I guess given the situation, it is a decent enough option of dealing with them, because I don't have that many AoE spells anymore. Okay, him shooting into this wood nearby is kind of hilarious. Okay, I guess I'll duke it out honorably with the last one. If me smiting him down with divine retribution can be even called,
Niczego tu nie znajdę.
honorable, that's kind of debatable, I guess. Okay, there are two on the approach. which I should be able to deal with. Though again, I feel a surprising amount of dread because of the speed potion. Okay. But then again, the speed potion must be nearing its end at this point, so maybe the dread is unwarranted. But I guess I've utilized all of my healing scrolls, which is a bit of a bummer, because healing using regular methods at my current level of health is kind of ridiculous. I think I had one more, but it's only light wounds, so it won't even heal that much. Well, I guess the potion of speed is done, so there's at least one less thing to fear in that regard. Oh, are they going to drown themselves? I guess so. Damn it, that's kind of annoying because that is going to deprive me of experience, unless they are going to survive, in which case I'll try to just shoot them down. Specifically for the aforementioned experience. I guess they can swim, so it's interesting because some of the enemies, some of the animals specifically, actually can't swim and they outright die when submerged in water, but the orcs have a proper set of animations for swimming, so it's interesting to me that they refuse to do that when they are pursuing me. Like, I'm not sure why that's the case, but it's kind of interesting. Okay, now I think there's a shaman for sure, but I think there might be a couple more orcs in the background. Yeah, there's an orc elite. Okay, that was a pretty weird lag spike there. There's an orc elite and a regular orc. I should be able to take them both if I'm careful. Oh, especially since... Especially since the regular orc has hilariously blocked himself on a piece of terrain. Stone tablet, great, I'm going to check it in just a moment. As you can see, the cave that was here in Gothic 1 has since collapsed. But there is still a chest. Let's see what it contains. A bunch of gold, which I don't really mind at this point. I will need it. I'm going to spend all of it, actually. I don't have that much, all things considered. Because I've actually spent a lot of it, you know, on scrolls and stuff. I think the last time I played was with a mage character, where obviously you don't really need to buy scrolls because you can just use the thingamajig, the spells without end, basically. Crossbow, okay, so that's kind of pointless for me. But as a mercenary specifically, scrolls are a huge help in the beginning. Like, what I've done with the Fire Rain scroll, for example, is pure poetry, you know, because that's what accounts for most of the orcs around the castle. those were like 4 scrolls of fire rain. Okay, I'm
Nic
pretty
tu nie ma.
close to death again. And kind of out of really powerful healing items. Like, look at how many of those lesser potions I need to fill my health back up at this point. It's kind of ridiculous. However, I'm getting close to the stone fortress. Okay.
Nie ma niczego tu nie znajdę.
And the bridge to the orc cemetery has also collapsed since back in Gothic I. It should be over here. Over there. There is even this characteristic tree that was there, but you can't get there anymore. Oh, there are some fire lizards, but I guess at this point I think I'm actually strong enough to kill them if I approach them one by one. And obviously the regular lizards are a triviality. The fire lizard can still kill me. But fighting it is by no means a death sentence that it used to be. Okay, there's another stone tablet. Let's check what this one gives me. I guess this must be archery, which is pretty useful. Once I get my bow skill to a high enough level, I will just use all of them at once, and then get it to basically 100. Although still, as I said, I kind of screwed the character development in regards to dexterity, but it was never meant to be like super optimal. Okay, there's nothing here, although you can get a first glance of the stone fortress back from Gothic 1. It has since changed considerably, presumably due to the power of the dragon that calls it home now. And speaking of dragons, I am going to learn how to butcher them and how to take their scales from this guy. But I guess first I'm going to steal from him.
Jak leci?
Przyjście tutaj jest prawdziwym aktem odwagi. Pewnie się zgubiłeś, co?
Co tutaj robisz?
Zarabiam.
W takim miejscu?
Jestem myśliwym. Specjalizuję się w trudnych zadaniach. Ogniste jaszczury, pełzacze, zębacze. Jednym słowem wszystko, na co nikt inny nie zechciałby zapolować.
Niezła zbroja.
Tak, ciężko coś takiego dostać. Jest zrobiona z pancerza pełzacza. Zrobił ją dla mnie pewien człowiek imieniem Wilk. Wtedy byłem więźniem w kolonii. Dałem mu kilka łusek pełzacza, a parę dni później zbroja była już gotowa. Facet jest w porządku.
Yeah, you can get the Minecrawler plate armor in Gothic 2 as well, but it's not really that feasible, because you can pretty easily get a better one.
Jest tu coś wartego zobaczenia?
Trochę ognistych jaszczurów, orków i cholera wie czego jeszcze. Nie byłem jeszcze na wyżynach. Nie radzę jednak próbować. Stworzenia, które żyją tam na górze, nie wyglądają zbyt przyjaźnie.
Potrafisz oprawiać smoki?
Jasne.
Naucz mnie sprawiać zwierzęta.
Czemu nie? I tak mam chwilowo dosyć wrażeń.
Okay, so I'm going to learn how to take dragon scales.
Smocze łuski są naprawdę trudne do wyrwania, ale te na plecach są stosunkowo płytko osadzone.
Naucz mnie sprawiać zwierzęta.
Co chcesz wiedzieć?
And I will also learn how to take dragon blood, because I think there's a quest for that.
Krew najłatwiej spuścisz, przecinając brzuch lub gardło zwierzęcia ostrym nożem.
Okay. And the other person around here is in fact Gorn, and you can ask him for a bit of help in approaching the dragon's fortress. I don't think he comes with you all the way, but he still helps in the beginning. Can I steal from him? I guess I can, although he literally just had a walking stick, which is kind of hilarious on its own. Like, you'd think, like, what kind of use does he even have for it? He's some kind of a badass dragon hunter, and he just has a lonely walking stick in his chest. I will ask Gorn for help, because again, he shares experience with you.
A więc tutaj się schowałeś.
Ty też nie dasz się tak łatwo zabić, co?
Znalazłeś coś ciekawego?
Ciągle szukam. Myślę, że coś dzieje się w starych ruinach w górach. W nocy widać tam dziwne światła i słychać jakieś wrzaski.
Może Lester wrócił na swoje śmieci?
Raczej nie. O ile wiem, Lester już tam nie mieszka.
It's kind of hilarious that Gorn doesn't really take objection to the fact that you've assumed that strange lights and screams in the night might be Lester. He's not like... He's not saying it's improbable for it to be Lester because of the things that happen, but simply because Lester doesn't live there anymore. But it's kind of implied that if he did live there, then those things wouldn't be that strange.
Myślisz, że to sprawka smoka?
Bardzo możliwe. Tamten płaskowyż jest lepiej strzeżony niż królewski skarbiec, a koniec końców to jedyna droga do fortecy. Jakby mało było samych smoków, kręci się tam mnóstwo innego plugastwa.
Oh, damn it. I'm actually literally an idiot, because I was at the castle and I forgot to recharge the Eye of Innos, so now I won't be able to talk to the dragon. I am a mouth-breathing idiot. I am retarded. Like, I will have to backtrack all the way, actually, which is both hilarious and annoying.
A co z orkami?
Obserwuję ich od dłuższego czasu. Za tą palisadą musi się kryć coś ważnego. Myślę, że trzymają tam swoje główne siły.
Myślisz, że jest ich tam jeszcze więcej niż tutaj?
Nie zdziwiłbym się, gdyby pewnego dnia przewrócili tę swoją palisadę i zalali nas jak powódź. Nie podoba mi się to. Gdyby rzeczywiście ruszyli do ataku, będę musiał ostrzec Lee. On i tak chce się wynieść z tej wyspy, a w obecnej sytuacji to chyba niezły pomysł.
Okay, that's actually hilariously bad of me, but I have to go back to the castle and recharge the Eye of Innos. So, excuse me for that, I will speed it up. I guess at the very least I can check if I can loot the scales off of the other dragon if its corpse is still there. But I'm really sorry about that. As I said, I will speed it up. Nothing particularly interesting is probably going to happen. Although I found Sengrad's body.
Znalazłem Sengrata.
Naprawdę? Gdzie on jest?
Nie żyje. Oto jego kusza. Miał ją przy sobie.
Musiał odzyskać swoją kuszę. Ale wygląda na to, że orkowie jednak go zabili. Przeklęty głupiec. Wiedziałem, że tak będzie. Wszyscy zginiemy.
Okay. Well, that's kind of embarrassing, but... Oh, but that reminds me, I can also talk to Marcos, one of the paladins that is guarding the ore behind Cavalorn's hut, and now that he has received reinforcements from Lord Garond, I will get a bit of experience for that. So I guess there is that. So is the corpse still here? I guess it is. But the question is, can I loot the scales if I only learned the skill afterwards? I can. Okay, that's at least made this trip worth it. Kind of. It's still embarrassing that I had to do that, but I would have to backtrack over here later anyway, if I wanted to get the scales, and I did, because obviously I need them for better armor. Okay, so I will go talk to Marcos for that bit of experience it'll get me. And there's also a corpse over there that kickstarts one of the side quests. So there is a corpse of Engrom, one of the hunters, and on his body you can find a skin. The name Talbin's been branded on the inside, so that's the other hunter, this guy's friend.
Jak sytuacja?
Dziękuję ci za pomoc. Niechaj Innos da nam siłę.
So if you talk to Talbin and tell him that Engrom has died, you're going to get a little bit of experience, which I am going to do because it doesn't require a detour anyway. It's basically over here.
Jesteś sam?
Tak. Mój kompan Engrom po prostu wstał wczoraj i poszedł sobie. Powiedział, że miał wizję, w której słyszał jakiś łagodny głos. Ja tam nic nie słyszałem. Pomyślałem sobie, że pewnie do końca mu już odbiło. Chwilę potem już go nie było. Jeśli spotkasz gdzieś Engroma, przypomnij sukinkotowi, że wciąż mi jest winny skórę topielca.
Myślałem, że nie chciał odejść, bo bał się orków. Czekał, aż znikną.
Jak już mówiłem, całkowicie mu odbiło.
Czy ktoś tędy przechodził?
Tak, niedawno widziałem tutaj grupkę śmiesznych gości. Paradowali w swoich wyglansowanych zbrojach i udawali bardzo ważnych.
Czego tu chcieli ci śmieszni goście?
Pytali o zapasy i sprzęt. Człowieku, ja sam ledwo ciągnę. Ciągle gadali coś o zabijaniu smoków. Bogowie jedni wiedzą, skąd przyszła ta banda, nie wzbudzili jednak mojego zaufania.
Znalazłem twojego kompana, Engroma.
Tak? Gdzie jest?
Nie żyje. Proszę, znalazłem przy nim skórę topielca.
Na Innosa, muszę się stąd wydostać, nawet narażając życie. Teraz albo nigdy.
He actually runs straight to the pass, and he can survive that, but it's... I think it's... I think it's kind of, random if he does. So I don't particularly care. I'm not going to help him. I guess I'll see if he survived later on when I myself go to the pass and see if he's there. For now, I need to get back to the stone fortress, you know, finally having recharged the eye. A bunch of dragon snappers. Can I take them? I guess I'll... On one hand, it would be wisest to return later with better armor, but on the other, I kind of can't be bothered, so I will try with what I have. Okay, that's one of them. There's at least like 4, which is quite a lot. I couldn't take them all at once. But I have to admit, they give a lot of experience. There's an orc elite back frick. I'm super dead because I accidentally clicked jump. Okay, I will run away, and just because I don't want to lose the potion of speed effect. Okay, that's kind of hilarious. Like, it's embarrassing but kind of hilarious as well. Which I guess a lot of things sort of combine those two feelings. Okay. The most hilarious thing is that was totally avoidable. Like, I clicked jump by accident because my hand twitched a little bit, and it drove in the orc as well as the other snapper. Because if I just kited them one by one as I did before, they wouldn't really trouble me at all. Okay, and there is the last snapper. Okay, and I think from now on, the rest of the coast towards the old fortress is clear, because I've been to this part of the palisade before. Oh, I guess not yet. And that's quite a few of those snappers. Again, they are difficult to kill, but they give good experience. And I can't be bothered to return later on. With better armor, they would be much easier to defeat, but I prefer killing them now and sort of being done with it. Okay, that was remarkably close. That's a lot of those dragon snappers. More than I... more than I anticipated, and I'm quickly running out of healing potions, which is going to be a problem. Because I'm not even halfway with killing all of the dragons. And I'm mostly out of healing equipment, which
Niczego tu nie znajdę.
does not bode well for my quest. Yeah, there's actually a bunch of orcs around, I guess. What are they fighting? Ah, they're fighting a shadow beast. Oh, I guess they killed it already. Which leaves me in a bit of hot water.
Niczego nie ma czego plądrować.
I guess I'll kill the remainder of them when I get back. I will not use the rune to get back from the stone dragon, but instead go on foot and kill the rest of the orcs in the vicinity. Although I guess it's not like directly in my way, because the battering ram is just around here. But oh frick! Did I? Come on! Okay, that's ridiculous. I have no idea what just happened, but I'm glad. Oh, there's a warg. I'm glad it worked out, because if the game if I blocked myself in the water because of a bug and waste the potion of speed this way, it would be even more annoying than actually dying to an orc or something. Okay, this episode has been long enough. I apologize for that last part, but I will go face the stone dragon next time. So for now, that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.